Hey guys, I hope everything is going okay with you guys. We're going to start section 13-2. We're going to continue with trigonometrical functions, trigonometry. We're going to concentrate on 13.2. We're going to do example 1 and 2 in this video only. This is page 718 of your book, 13-2, angles in the unit circle. The unit circle is going to be the next couple examples, but right now we're going to concentrate on what angles are. These are really important when it comes to trig functions because trig functions are ratios of side lengths of right triangles. But first of all, we have to understand what these angles are. So I'm going to have you first copy this vocabulary, standard position. What is the standard position of an angle? Well, standard position of an angle works like this. It's when the vertex is the origin. If you look at the x and y axis, the vertex will be the origin always of the angle. The initial side of the angle will be the positive x-axis, and then the terminal side, terminal means the end, the final side, will be any other line starting from the vertex and on. So it could be any angle starting with the positive x-axis, and if you notice that I'm measuring the angle to the left counterclockwise. Here it says one ray of the array is just a half line of the angle. An angle has two rays starting at one vertex. So that's what our angle is. It says one ray of the angle is on the positive x-axis, that's the initial side, and the other ray is the terminal side of the angle. And we measure it to the left counterclockwise. If you measure to the left, the angle is positive to the left counterclockwise. Okay, if you measure an angle to the right, we'll see that later on, that's clockwise to the right, that's going to be a negative angle. So if you're going to the left, the angle's positive. If you're measuring to the right, the angle is negative. Keep that in mind. I got it down here when you're taking these notes. So let's do example 1 before we talk about positive and negative angles. It says here, example 1, and go ahead and draw this figure. It says measuring angles in standard position. So basically, I want to know the angle measurement from the initial side, which is the positive x-axis always, the vertex is the origin. I want to know this angle measurement from here to here, ending here. Well, here's what we know for sure. We know that the angle from here to here, this angle, this little bit of an angle here is 20 degrees. So how am I going to find the whole angle starting from the positive x-axis and ending at the terminal side over here? Initial angle, initial side, terminal side. So what's the whole angle? We know this is 20 degrees. From that, we can figure out the whole angle starting from here to here. Well, basically, it's simple. We know what a straight angle is, right? The angle measurement of a straight line is what? 180 degrees, correct. So from here to here, this straight line from here to here is 180 degrees, and then we have 20 degrees more, so don't we have to add 20 degrees to that? So the whole angle measurement here is going to be 200 degrees. Positive 200 degrees because we went counterclockwise to the left. Now that you know that, you can go ahead and do quick check number 1, page 718. Knowing that the angle measurement of the whole complete turn, a complete turn is 360 degrees, starting from the initial side and ending at the initial side, the terminal side, both start and end at the same point. This angle all the way around in a big circle is 360 degrees. Knowing that, can you figure out these three angles? This quarter angle, what's the measurement of that? The straight angle, what's the measurement of that? We already talked about that earlier. And then how about this 3/4 of the angle, starting here and ending here? These are all positive angles. Figure these three angle measurements out. That's quick check number 1. Let's continue. Again, I talked about positive and negative angle measurements. A positive angle is an angle starting at the initial side, positive x-axis, and going to the left, counterclockwise to the left. That's positive 120 degrees, for example. This angle here, we're starting at the initial side, the positive x-axis, and we're going to the left. We're going to the right, clockwise to the right. Whenever you measure an angle to the right, it's a negative degree measure. So this angle here is negative 120 degrees. Let's continue to example 2 now. Make sure this is centered correctly. I think we're good right there. Yeah, we're good right there. Okay, so now we're on still section 13-2. This is example 2 now on page 719, sorry. What we want to do is we want to sketch angles in standard position. What's the angle measurement of positive 36 degrees? Well, we know from here to here is 90 degrees because it's 1/4 of 360. All four of these quadrants together, the whole complete circle is 360. This has to be 90. This has to be 180, 270, 360. Those are quarter angles. Divide by 4. This is 90. I know right in the middle of 90 is 45. That's important to know. The angle from here to here is 45, which is really important to know. So the 36 isn't going to be less than 45. So it's approximately, I would say, about that much. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not doing perfect angle measurements. I'm going to say that's 36 degrees from here to here. That's A. Look at B, 315. Well, let's see what's going on here. Starting here, always start here. The positive x-axis. This is 90, and 90 is 180. 180, this is 270. That's 180. That's 90. So we're at 270, 270. Okay, so 270. Okay, 90 plus 90 is 180. 180 plus 90, right? Is 270. Yes. Okay, so now we need to know what 315 is. Well, if I add 45, I know 45 is going to be directly right down the middle between, because from here to here is 90. So add 45 to 270. 270 plus 45, that's going to be 315. Oh, there it is. That was exactly 315. Again, 315 ends right there. So the angle measurement starts here at the initial side, positive x-axis, goes all the way around and ends right there. So that's the angle that we just measured, 315 degrees. Let's look at C now. Negative 150, that means I have to go which way? Clockwise, yes. Positive is counterclockwise to the left. Negative angle measurements are to the right. Again, the initial side is still the positive x-axis. So you're starting here, your vertex is the origin. There's your positive x-axis, your initial side. And then I'm going to measure 150. The way we do it is we always look at the ones we know. For instance, from here to here is 90, negative 90. From here to here is negative 180. Well, I went too far, didn't I? Well, what's the middle? Let's add negative 45 to negative 90. Negative 90 plus negative 45 is negative 135. Well, negative 135 is right here. From here to here. Isn't 150 between negative 135 and 180? Almost like right down the middle. So we're going to estimate here. We're going to say it's about right here. This is negative 150 degrees. Starting here and ending here, that angle measurement is negative 150 degrees. That's how you measure angles, either in the positive, to the left, counterclockwise, or negative angles are to the right, clockwise. Let's do quick check number 2. A, B, and C. Go ahead and sketch these three and on the X and Y coordinates. And then go ahead and sketch each of the angles. Again, what you do is you look at the quarter angles, 90, 180, 270, and then look at what's in the middle, always 45 degrees in the middle. And then from there, you can figure out what these, or you can estimate what these angle measurements are. Last thing I want you to do before I stop this video is write this vocabulary word, coterminal angles. Coterminal angles are simply two angles that share the same exact terminal side. For instance, look at this angle in green. If I measured it to the counterclockwise in the positive direction, it'd be 135 degrees. 90 plus 45 right down the middle is 135. Another angle that has the same exact terminal side is negative 225 degrees. So if I start at the initial side, the positive x-axis, and I go to the right, which makes it negative, that's 90, 180, 180 and 45 is negative 225. 135 degrees positive and negative 225 degrees are called coterminal angles because they share the exact terminal side. Thank you guys. Make sure you do the quick checks. I'm going to continue with example 4 and 5 tomorrow. I think we're skipping example 3 and we'll go from there and I'll give you guys homework after that. Thank you.